had an interesting clarification on the coronavirus disease from two of my teachers, all in the same day, from Ra and from Sadhguru. And they're very similar because they both come from the same principle of oneness, that nothing that happened to us that we don't create ourselves. So, and that includes viruses, all living creatures co-creating this life together. And so this is what Ra said about the viruses and infectious diseases.
I am Ra. These so-called contagious diseases are those entities of second density which offer an opportunity for this type of catalyst. If this catalyst is unneeded, then these second density creatures, as you would call them, do not have an effect.
So Ra said that viruses and all infectious diseases, it's consciousness and it's a second density creatures. Second density is also plants and wild animals. It's all second density. So virus is like an interesting form of life from spiritual or universal or energy perspective. And so they exist for our expansion. So people who don't need expansion or clearing will not get that. But people who do need it, who do need to reconnect deeper to themselves, who do need to perhaps throw away some old baggage of some old belief systems, the virus will and other infectious diseases help us to clear the past, to clear that baggage that don't serve us. So we kind of like die and reborn new, coming from this disease. And if you actually die and your physical body won't be able to sustain that effect of the virus, that means that you need a massive clearing, and that is death. You will be clearing and you will be reconnecting to your higher self at that point. But the best way, I think, to embrace this change, this transformation, is to really go with it and not stubbornly fighting the disease, but allowing it to heal you through this high fever, through the sweating, through the diarrhea, purging all the toxins. Like all the symptoms of the disease is all about detox, basically. But the detox happens on mental, emotional, maybe even spiritual level. So it's a really deep cleansing that this virus offers to the global community of people. So let's be grateful and let's connect to that gift and that opportunity. And perhaps if you really connect with this, you don't have to go through this aggressive purging, because you might do it consciously with your awareness on your own. So moving forward, embracing oneness, throwing away old beliefs of self-serving, and connecting to other people through love, through heart. That is the mission. And this is interesting. This is what's happening right now on the global scale. People are reuniting. People start talking to each other. Families connecting, parents paying attention to their children finally. They're calling their parents if they're older on a regular basis. It's a beautiful love transformation that's happening in every single country right now. That is so beautiful. Now, this is what Sadhguru said in his YouTube video, Corona Doesn't Want to Kill You. And he makes an amazing point.
All of us have this bacteria, we will fail the Mantoux test, but we have no symptoms of tuberculosis in us because we have learned to live with them, they have learned to live with us. They know if they live too aggressively as we are living on this planet right now, they know they will lose their habitat. So they will mutate themselves to be milder life.
So his video is called Coronavirus Does Not Want to Kill You. And he mentions that coronavirus as a living thing not according to biology, but according to consciousness, does not want to kill its habitat. And that another message of coronavirus is showing us how we people so stupidly, so irresponsibly, killing our own habitat on a global scale on the planet Earth. And I'm, of course, talking about ecological disasters, all this crap, all this pollution. And so it shows us that we need to start detoxing our environment, because the toxicity of our environment is what's going to kill us as a human race on Earth. So the message of coronavirus is so potent, it's so valuable, it's so awakening. It's really waking us up. And he also mentions that, and it's a fact, that lots of viruses, lots of bacteria, he mentions tuberculosis, like in India, almost everybody have high level of tuberculosis bacteria, but nobody's shown the disease, because they allowed that bacteria to integrate in their body ecosystem. So now the bacteria lives there, but it becomes either non-effective or maybe even beneficial. We have lots of bacteria that is now beneficial, that used to be toxic to us. And the same thing with viruses. We have beneficial viruses that help us to kill toxic bacteria. So the message on both instances is clear. First, to embrace our global connection, understand that we need to take care of our environment, of our earth, just like we take care of our own living body, because this planet is a living body. So here again, we understand this deeper connection. That's the idea of oneness again. And that we also should integrate the virus in our genome. So again, that message comes from the law of one, of oneness. Another message of this virus is embracing the new earth, embracing the higher vibratory existence on this planet, of the fourth density, as the Ra explains it in his book, Law of One. And it's interesting that children are so little affected by it, because naturally children are open to the new. They're not blocked yet. And it's the older people that are dying the most. And older people are the ones who accumulated all this baggage and all this rigidity, and they think they know how things are. And so as soon as you have a concept of something, you think you know, you got closed off. So my calling for you today is to become like a child, to start looking at the world with the eyes of a child, with curiosity, with joy, with discovery, questioning everything, being completely open and remembering that you don't know shit. All that fear of death with the coronavirus now, it's not really fear of death, because you don't know what death is, even though you died many times, but you don't remember. It's fear of the unknown. It's fear of new. It's the fear of ego, of its death. It's when ego is afraid that all that old rigid structures and belief systems of it will collapse and be replaced by the new. But it's a natural process of evolution. And we are in the midst of spiritual evolution right now. So my calling to you is to just let go and trust the process of life. Namaste.